hot stocks still on the list because that CGC started ramping yesterday, right? So that old high is about 44. So you can see like this bad boy was just hitting right over here. So this is the power of supports, right? You can see yesterday like it tapped right into that support. See how it like flushed down, tapped right into the support, and then boom, it was off to the races, and you had flag and have a litter, right, that we're kind of running into. So it looks like at this point the market should be breaking out or getting close to a breakout. It is Labor Day. You know, that's going to be something to watch. Like, where's the action going to be? Now, the slow days are not so bad. When there's a slow day, what happens is the action is concentrated usually in a handful of stocks. So, like, you know, there's like your cult stocks that, like, you know, chat rooms play that are like just the hot movers. And so, like, I noticed this even the week before Thanksgiving, like when the market slows down and you get the big boys on vacation, you'll start to see more small caps moving. You'll start to see more of like whatever stock has the pure momentum, like where, you know, the action is going to be concentrated. We're opening slightly, it's getting bought. So this is still a market that, you know, we give faith to on the long side. The S&P has run into resistance. It's kind of a double top. You had a light pullback yesterday, but we got tons of support underneath. We're overbought. So, you know, it's natural to have when you're overbought some type of consolidation. Not a huge deal. You know, we may come back for a couple days and then rip. It is Labor Day, and so that's something that we've got to just be mindful of. On the gapper list today, you could see like there's just not that much action going on. This Williams and Sonoma is breaking out the highs. 73 million share float. It seems to be hanging out okay right now, as long as it kind of hold this level over here from its pre-market levels. The caveat on this one is it's a retail stock. Retail stock's never been like that good of a mover. Mr. Justin, how you doing? McCander, what's going on? Matt Steele, how you doing? Danny, what's up? Give me the faves, guy. What are you guys watching? So that's something we'll have to just kind of be mindful of in some of this stuff, is that I hate retail stocks, but this thing's kind of a longer-term breakout that's in the work. You had a breakout, a retest, now you're breaking back out. It's just been the year of retail, so that's something that, you know, we've got to be mindful of. This Synopsis is a flat top breakout too, 100 million share float, so nothing, it's pretty low for the most part. It's had a big move, so that's something we'll have to just be mindful of already. You know, when you think of a stock, like what's its actual, you know, normal range? Are you already starting to hit that? You know, and so we may be kind of, this one may be something like where it pops up and then it kind of consolidates for a while, and then you'll have to play off that consolidation. Ladies, it's just bleeding out at this point. Nobody wants to trade this thing. I think I got this one on watch for an ORB. Remember what ORB is. So this thing's gapping down, right? So at the open, if you see a 9 EMA or a VWAP fizzle, right? The VWAP fizzle on the gap downs has been working really well. So always want to keep a fizzler on the watch list. Safe M. You know, this one's going to be a little bit tricky because it's stuck right at the trend line. We need to see at the open and kind of break under to put this one on watch for potential shorts. Low volume orderly pullback. After the big extension, you're starting to come back to this thing. You got a trend line right here. If you look at its 30-minute chart, you're starting to kind of break out of that range. This one may have a chance. You may see at the open this thing come back and retest the trend line and start to build before you go. But overall, it's got, you know, kind of a nice solid structure to it. That's going to be something to kind of keep an eye on also. I like this one, though. Main reason I like Dust is just got awesome range on it when it goes. But it's been trading like crap the last couple days because it's been pulling back. When stocks pull back, they just kind of chop, right? They just pop up a little bit, come down a little bit more, pop up a little bit, come down even a little bit more. But now that we're starting to break out of that trend, watch for higher highs, higher lows. Let that thing build into a pattern and then start to rip that thing. CDNA, good flag break yesterday. I know some of you guys already had this on the watch list. Had a huge ripper, trended all day. On watch for red to green today. right? So if it opens up weak, we'll watch the red to green. If it opens up strong, we'll run the gamut on this thing. It's got a good look to it. Same type of thing with this XS. You know, it may come out and break this trend line today. Beautiful trender pretty much all day. So, you know, it had a really nice volume to it, 12 million shares, all-day trender. We'll need to keep this on the list. It's going to have a good range. XS, even though it's got 120 million share float, it typically has a nice, clean range and more than enough liquidity to get in and out of it, which is important. And on the other side of things, it's just really, I keep an eye on this SFIX. You know, we played this in the chat room yesterday. It ended up fading off into the end of the day. I'd watch and see this happens a lot, like where you get this key breakout and it has a big rip and then it'll kind of fade back and retest that spot. So if you see it holding at 35 intraday, if you see it open weak and it holds at 35, watch for a 1, 2, 3 pattern or you know, a red to green on that bad boy, and you'll be good to go. So it's just something to kind of keep an eye on. Yeah, the SPY's down ticking a little bit, but not a straight up crash just yet. Adrian, yes, this Netflix looks decent. I don't like entering stocks after 3 up days. That's just a personal preference because they start to get a little bit extended, but it has remounted its MAs, and you know, you start to kind of come out of this zone a little bit. So overall, I do think it's bullish over the next, you know, handful of days. Today you may have another update, but it's getting a little bit long in the tooth. Nolster, I got you. Yes, Roku's got a $60 kind of lid on it right now. It's tested it 3 times, 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. Let's look at its hourly chart. You can see here on the hourly, right? You've been really testing this level a handful of times. So if it can bust out, should be okay. Roku has good volume, has nice range. Overall, it's going to move okay. So I think we move that to the top of the list also. And then there's really just a few others that kind of need a little bit of work on this thing. You know, obviously this TTD is kind of breaking out of its flag too, but it's moving at a snail's pace and the liquidity sucks on it. So I haven't been taking any trades in it. I think we focus in on this Dust Bunny and a couple of these other ones. Also keep CGC on your list. You know, after that pullback and retest, right? It's been pretty strong. We may just come out of this kind of zone right here and start ripping again. So that's a list. It's a little bit short. That's okay. I like short. I'd rather have a focus list than too long of a list. It is Labor Day, so make sure you guys are not over trading. Don't hunt around for, you know, junk. Figure out where the action is, where the volume is, where the momentum is, and then focus your trades on that, hitting the dips, hitting the flags, hitting the VWAP plays, so on and so forth, because holiday weeks can just be like that where they get a little bit dicey and the volume dries off and so much of the stuff, you've got to figure out where the volume is flowing. So be good, be great. I shall see everybody in the chat room.